Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Morning, everybody. It's 7:30 a.m. New York time. That's approximately London lunch. It's Monday, the 13th of June, 2016. S&P 500 futures down 1/3%. Euro stocks down another 1.64%. Holy smokes. Oil down another full percent. German DAX down 1 1/3%. FTSE down 0.75%. Hang Seng! Holy smokes. Down 2.5%. The French stock market down 1.5. Hey! We got a good trading day. We got a good trading week. This one's going to be special. Let's get ready to party. So, welcome to Forex.Today. Good to see you. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. Let me remind you that trading Forex is risky, not appropriate for everyone. Your past performance, however, good or bad, is not necessarily indicative of future results. So, no matter how good you get, please stay small, stay humble, focus on the long term, and never risk money you cannot afford to lose. Hey, my name is Wayne. I'm a foreign exchange trader. Been doing this for a very, very, very long time. Seen a lot, and I'm here to share those experiences with you. The overriding goal of these webinars is to help you become a successful Forex trader. That's simply it. And perhaps after TradersWay has invested hours and weeks and months and maybe even, if it takes, years of these webinars to make you successful, when you do find the confidence to trade real money, that you'll choose TradersWay as your foreign exchange prime broker for your successful trading business and many, many years of positive relationship together. That's what we're looking for, your long-term success. We do these sessions every single day, 7:30 in the morning, New York time, Monday through Thursday here at TradersWay.com. And then Friday at FX Street, we have premium webinars for you to attend. At FX Street, I'm also Forex Speaker of the Year. So what's going on in the world? Asia. Industrial production out of China, 6.0%, 5.9 yearly, all as expected. So that is neither good nor bad, although bigger is better. Chinese retail sales, isn't it amazing? 10% growth year over year. And that's bad. Wow. Isn't that amazing? 10% year over year growth. And that's bad. And that's a 10-year low. Or sorry, not a 10-year low, 1 year low. But just amazing numbers, huh? Just absolutely phenomenal numbers to say that that's bad. One thing I wanted to point out here, there's like a little sub note going on. Year over year, FDI, foreign direct investment, negative. I guess I should use the other drawing tool. Yeah, negative, huh? Hang on, I got to figure out how to clear this now. I clicked the wrong button. Let's see if this will work. It's a war. It's a battle of drawing tools. I got a drawing tool on top of a drawing tool. It won't work. So anyways, we'll figure that out. But anyways, let's see if I can do it this way. Yeah, FDI, negative. Year to date, 3.8% versus 4.8 for this time last year. Yeah, foreigners are not pouring money in. Foreigners are taking their money out. And I have a feeling a lot of rich locals are getting their money out too. So a lot of outflows out of China, right? Fixed urban investment growth slowed to multi-year low. as property sales values and construction activity saw the most pronounced declines. Home sale values and construction activity saw the most pronounced declines. But the industrial output, like I said, neither here nor there, it's all fine. In Europe, Fitch, which is a rating agency, reaffirmed the UK sovereign rating. Very nice. So their outlook is stable. I mean, how could you even print that? So apparently the risk rating agency doesn't see Brexit as a risk. Would you agree with that? How many people think that the Brexit vote 10 days from now is just simply not a risk at all? It should be completely ignored. It's embarrassing for them. Anyways, well, good job, Fitch. And also, Fitch reaffirmed France. Yeah, France is stable. Yeah, Peter said it must have been a big bribe. Well, apparently that's probably a small bribe, and they're still willing to give up their. But anyways, yeah. I mean, it's just sad and embarrassing, really. So maybe I'm missing something. I don't know. I shouldn't be so judgmental. It seems to me that that might be somewhat of a risk. Okay, summary of recent EU referendum polls. 45% to remain, 55% to leave. Another one, 53% to leave, 42% to leave, 43% to leave. Okay, not good, right? Doesn't seem to be a ripper awesome. You guys looking at pound dollar and pound yen these days? Remember that that test? We had a 21.55 test on the pound yen. Gee, I don't know, what was it? Last week? A full week ago, so the week before last week, but it's now down 700 pips from then. 1, 2, you rock! Thank you, Beast. Pretty interesting days, right? So what's coming up today in New York? Nothing. Why'd I even get out of bed? Huh? So nothing going on today in the New York session. Way out in Asian session, we got some Aussie business confidence. Here's a big one, huh? There's a snoozer. Hey, Sally Pup. Yep. So what does the week look like? Well, let's see what's interesting here. Pound CPI, pound PPI, right? Do we really care with Brexit coming up in 10 days? Probably not. Right? Industrial production out of the EMU. All right, I'll throw that in there. Oops, I thought that was going to be a circle. Oh, I got the stupid drawing tool. Let's see if I can undo that. No, I got the battle of the drawing tools going on. All right. So, yeah, okay, you know, if you're conscious at that time, you might as well watch it, right? Business optimism, who cares? U.S. retail sales, that's a biggie, guys. That's a biggie. Now, how can you guess whether that's good or bad? Anybody? What leads to an improvement in retail sales? Jobs lead to wages, wages lead to income, income leads to consumption, consumption leads to retail sales, retail sales leads to new orders lead to industrial production, capacity utilization, etc., and durable goods. Right? Something like that. Not inflation, not really. Inflation would be a consequence. So because of that, increased, let's say, industrial activity to meet the demand of consumers, more employees need to be hired, therefore more jobs, more wages, so on and so forth. And that creates an upward spiral. And then pretty soon you get to full employment and you try to hire more people to meet those new orders, but you can't get good employees because they're already got jobs, so now you got to pay employees more money to entice them to your company from some other company, and then you get the inflation. Yeah, and then Ed says, yeah, okay, yeah. Down the road, that leads to inflation. Why don't we have inflation then? Has to do with globalization. Right? So you have a choice now. You can pay someone a lot of money in your local economy, or you say, well, I can get someone with the same experience and the same knowledge, but I can get them over here on the other side of the planet. They can connect remotely over the internet, work out of their own home, and pay them significantly less, but really good for their money. Okay? It's just how it goes. So anyways, retail sales is going to be important. Another reason, and I'll write this down, GDP is going to be heavily influenced by positive or negative retail sales. Because we have this little thing called, when you look at what the components of GDP, right, you have all these different components. Government, right? Business investment. A little thing here called consumption. I like to, instead of calling it consumption, I like to call it consumers, right? So anyways, consumer spending, retail sales, that kind of stuff. So this directly impacts the C of the, G plus I plus C. It is, okay? And if I were to, let's say, throw this down, what this is, I think this would be about right. This is about 70%, this is about 20%, and this is about 10%. Okay? So if C is heavily influenced by retail sales and C is 70% of GDP, holy smokes, maybe we should pay attention. How do I get rid of this? How ridiculous. There we go. Wonder if it'll let me draw now. No. All right. So you got it? Everybody good? Business inventories. Well, if retail sales is going up, inventory should be going down, right? Okay. Import-export prices, by the way, is that important? You don't really have to get bogged down to it, but GDP is actually government spending plus business investment plus, right, consumption plus exports minus imports. So import-export prices affects the other part of the equation, right? How lovely. All right. Let's start Wednesday here. Bank of Japan. Doot, doot. Bank of Japan. BOJ. Doot. Shields up. Red alert. Doot, doot. Yeah. First of our central banks to get out in front, tell us what they want to do. Yep. Get your helmets on. Duck. There's yen falling everywhere. Yeah. So yeah, get ready for that. If the Asian session is in the middle of the night for you, get out of bed. Okay. But go ahead and go back to sleep for French CPI. All right. So, anyways, yeah, BOJ in the house. The PIG, Great British Pound Labor Market Report. Oh yeah, you should pay attention to that. Okay, U.S. Empire State, blah, blah, blah. Canadian manufacturing. Yeah, you know, like I said, if you're conscious at this time, then you should probably pay attention. U.S. industrial production. Okay, I don't see why that would be bad, so go ahead and trade that. And what about the FOMC meeting announcement? What do you think? Should you pay attention to that one? Yeah, let's throw that one down. Let's mark that one as could be important. Yep. Okay. And then we'll wrap up by saying, Asian session, if you have the opportunity to trade Kiwi GDP, yeah, why not? Kapow. What a lovely trading day. Aussie labor force survey? Yeah, why not? If you're going to do Kiwi GDP, why not do the Aussie, right? Holy smokes. So, should Wednesday be a holiday? Like, I do laundry on Wednesdays. I can't trade that day. All right. Yeah. So there's that. So let's take a look at Thursday. Maybe Thursday is another holiday, right? Let's see. Swiss National Bank statement. Oh my gosh. Now they got their eye on euro. And they don't like weak euro. Very bad, right? So that's going to be very, very interesting. And then the Bank of England, oh my gosh, then they're going to do a statement and release meeting minutes. Holy smokes. Another reason to get out of bed. Wow. And then how about a key leading indicator of inflation in the United States at 8:30? Yep, might as well do that. And Philly Fed, why not? Right? And then you can get it in the current account, stuff like that. It's important. I don't know if it'll be a trade, but it's important data you can look at. Housing market index. We're on trend. We get it. But, why not? If you're around a 10, you'd be a fool to look the other way, right? And check this out. Remember how everybody's, not everybody. Have you ever watched, like, these crazy videos on YouTube that tell you, like, the Fed is evil and is manipulating the world's population, and Grandma Yellen is really, the mastermind of some alien society, and we're just puppets of her, all that kind of stuff. One of the things they'll tell you is, that the Fed is this secret, crazy, closed door, ancient Illuminati society, right? Oh, except they release their balance sheet for you to look at. So they're going to do that on Thursday afternoon. So yeah, you can actually go through. And did you know the Fed gets audited on a regular basis? Well, that guy that predicted the end of the capitalist world on what, May 28th or whatever it is, he's also one of these guys that goes out there and tells you, that no one knows what's going on in the Fed. And I'd say, well, they do tell us what's on their balance sheet, and they do get audited on a regular basis, and they do testify a couple of times a year to Congress and the Senate. But yeah, besides that, and their 6 times a year press conference so that they could talk to the free press. Yeah, but besides all that, you're right, they're totally opaque and secretive. Except all that stuff, right? So, whatever. And then, I don't know, Friday, you got Canadian CPI and U.S. housing. So if you're going to take a day off, it probably should have been today or Friday, right? Have you ever thought of that? You say, well, my summer schedule, I don't like working Mondays or Fridays. Have you ever thought of that? Doesn't that just sound cool? And the other thing about being a currency trader, like in the New York time zone, you could always drop the fact that you don't prefer to work afternoons. You're just like, no, I like to be done by 11:30. Once I hit noon, I'm done. I just can't. I don't know how you guys do it, man. Driving every day to the office and working like all day and then having to commute. And don't forget about stopping at the grocery store before you get home and standing in line for an hour and a half so you can buy some bread and milk. Sounds like such a good life. How many miles does that new Lexus have on it? 142,000 miles? Really? Didn't you just buy that thing last year? Boy. Guys are... Yeah, by the way, that's why I have no friends, right? Like, dang, it must suck to be you. You do that 5 days a week? That's crazy. Oh, let me launch my charts here. Yeah, that's right, Dan? You guys are my friends because you understand, right? Did Kim burn the burn again? Golly, it stinks in here. Kim? Gee whiz. Yeah. Yeah, you remember those days? How about this one? It's also Kim's birthday this week. We're going to meet up in the break room at 4:30. Don't be late. We're going to surprise her, and we're all going to sing birthday. I'm like, I don't even like her. She's an idiot. Can't even use a microwave. Why would I care about her birthday? And then Tommy's next week. We're going to do a birthday. We're going to do a little thing in the break room for Tommy. Golly, I didn't get this job because I needed friends. So anyways, boom. Here we go. Yeah, if only Tommy could actually get his sales numbers in on time. If only Tommy could hit the basic quota. If he wasn't afraid of the phone. Yeah. So anyways. All right. So here we are. I started on oil. OPEC just dropped us a little note. Let me get back to that. OPEC side survey says OPEC monthly report maintains 2016 global oil demand forecast. Okay. So they see us going around 94 million barrels per day. So basically no change. No change on oil. What happened to oil prices? This came out a whole whopping, it was 640. What time is it now? Dang. It seemed like that was 5 minutes ago. Was that 90 minutes ago? Holy smokes. Yeah, all right. So it came out, no change, and then look what happened to oil. Let's double confirm that this drawing tool works on this. Yeah, all right. So ripper, nothing. Check out our trade plan from what, a week ago, 2 weeks ago. You know, it's not bad. I've had worse trade plans than that. It didn't go up here. It only pulled back to here before dropping. All right, so, you know, Crimea River, it did a 382 instead of 618. Okay. Is anyone a bull on oil? Let's say just over the next 5 days. Yeah, well, okay, Fred says could bounce before lower. Okay, fine. Yeah. All right. All right. So you could, even though we're a little bit below, it's not a perfect bounce, you could consider something like that. Okay. Weekly M2, if it goes up from here, and again, it's a big if, so you got to play it. It's quite risky, but if, let's say, for example, we pierce through the hourly 21, maybe you come back, pick it up at 49, and maybe by the end of the week, we are at 52.40-ish, so 52.50, which is actually a double top. Okay. Notice up here as well is we have the MM4. So for that to be a perfect move, what would our MM support be? Just to go back and see how it all fits together. Okay. MM2. But that's way down here, right? All right, so you see here. But to reverse engineer the whole thing, what if we double top, or let's say almost double top? I'm okay with that too. Let's do it this way. How about it doesn't quite get to M4, but it does rally up, essentially double tops off here, kick off monthly R1, weekly R1 cluster, and what if we dipsy do this way, down to the M1 monthly central cluster and end the week there? That gets, who said it now? It could go up and then go down. So, yeah. Richard says oil's risky. Well, yeah, but I would say it this way. I think we're closer to fair market value for oil at 50-ish, right? And what have I been saying over the last 2 years that is the key driver for oil prices to go up? We're going to need Europe on board. Right? Yeah, not happening anytime soon. Well, maybe another thing that could happen is maybe the Japanese will start having babies again. But I guess that's not going to happen anytime soon either. But Indian CPI just came out 5.8. versus 5.6 expected. Food price inflation 7.6. Wow. So they must have a bad monsoon season. Right? So, yeah, oil doesn't need to go up. But let's say it does for even geopolitical reasons or something, right? It seems like the supply side of the equation could bring this down easier than demand side pushing this up, right? If demand pushes this up and supply brings it back down, I think we could much easier add supply than create demand. So hopefully you understand and agree with that. But this oscillator says, yeah, dude, if you want to buy it at M2, there could be some up on this. Up forever? Pfft, doubt it. Right? And kitty CAD yen could be an, oops. If oil goes up, maybe CAD will benefit from it. Notice how we turn the corner here at monthly support pivot. Yup. Sure enough. That's interesting, huh? So you got monthly support, weekly M2, and that predicts a weekly M4, and I think there's a monthly resistance in there. No, it's just a horizontal line. I almost said the wrong thing, huh? All right, so, you know, if you thought oil would go up, how about that? And if you think the yen is overreacting, or if you think, for me, it's Tuesday night, but it's, you know, Wednesday's Bank of Japan meeting. If you think they do something to stimulate and weaken the Japanese yen, then maybe you get in here, okay? And by the end of the day, you're jammed at break even or close to it, and your plan is if BOJ goes my way, or if we get a risk on scenario, you see what I mean? So the key to this equation is if you can get it in at the support level and then risk as little as possible, and maybe by tomorrow have your stop at break even so that you have no risk associated with the trade. You're at least hero or zero, and there's some pretty reasonable reasons. Now, is it likely? That's different, but is it reasonable to think that the Bank of Japan says something to help out? For example, is there some reason for that? You know, could the Fed possibly say something that makes the world feel a little bit, you know, a little more confident in the near-term future? And if the answer to that is yes, you get paid. Okay? Yeah, well, Bouchon says BOJ won't do anything this week. Well, okay. The assumption from everybody is nothing's going to happen. That's the ideal scenario. Let me give you an argument, right, Bouchon? If the Bank of Japan was wanting to do something, are they going to do it in July or August? Right? No. Okay? So if you're going to do something, you either do it now, June, or you wait till September. So if you're going to do it, get her done. Yeah, risk the Brexit and the Fed. No, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I guess so. That's a fair argument. Oops. At the bare minimum, couldn't you say that you were considering adding some fiscal stimulus by the end of the year? You just keep it way open like that. Just say you're seriously thinking about discussing about maybe doing something later. Central banks are good at that, aren't they? But maybe Japan actually likes a strong yen right now. When you have 200% debt to GDP ratio, don't you want to pay back your debt with powerful money? So, all right, Aussie yen, we're back here, eh? Back at support. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Okay. I'm just trying to show that there might be some support there. Oops. I'll just redraw it. Okay, there might be some support there, eh? Joseph says load the boat. Yeah, if you're a bull. So the other thing you could do, and I hope you do this, and I almost nobody does, but I ask you, from every couple of weeks, I ask you to develop a 6-month outlook. That would be really cool if you developed an outlook for these currencies over, what's going to happen between now and the end of the year, and then maybe actually kind of trade that. So if you thought this was going down, what would you do? If you thought this was going up, what would you do? And it's so much easier to answer if you've thought about it. Right. So anyways, we're in an interesting area is all I'm saying. And of course, the classic amateur move is wait till it's way up here and then buy it, right? And then what happens? Tanks. Got to stand up straight. You got to carry your own weight. Your losing trades are going nowhere, baby. You got to get yourself together. You got stuck on a loser and you can't get out of it. All right, so this one is still ripping. This is our Goldilocks, our gold. And I was trying to set this up for a head and shoulders play, as you can plausibly see here. Right, I was hoping that maybe, just maybe, we get a move like this based on this low and this high. Right, that's not that easy to see, huh? Well, this high and this low, right? Based on that low and that line, that angle gets us to about here. And anyways, it didn't come together. In fact, looks like I did mark it a little bit higher. Left shoulder would have been about here. And now we're up top. But we're up top here though, right? A lot of resistance. So that's suggesting that the Fed's not going to raise interest rates or say anything good about the economy. But you remember, all of this is relative, right? The United States is doing really, 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 really well relative to every other economy on the planet. So whether they raise interest rates in June or July or September, October, does it really matter? So, like, are we going to break parity? On euro dollar? So if I was your college professor, I would ask you a simple question like that. Are we going to break parity on euro USD? Then shouldn't you be planning that trade? Just academically, wouldn't you just kind of even go through the calendar? When are the meetings? What needs to happen? Euro's going to need to be weak. Dollar's going to need to be strong because a weak euro isn't enough. Strong dollar isn't enough. Right? So on and so forth. And where do you want to be short this? If that's the play you're making. 113, 114, 115. Right? So we started the month way up high on euro dollar. Nowhere, baby. I don't know if you bought that USD yen double bottom. How should I load this for you? Let's do beep 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 beep. This one. Yeah. How you say in English? Okay, I think this is kind of interesting. Our top up in here. So you have to choose. You kind of have to choose what you think people think, right? Do you know what common knowledge is? It's that I know that you know that I know. So you have to figure out whether it's common knowledge that that the that the market knows that that the Fed's not going to raise interest rates. Therefore, they're going to be short dollar. But if you got a short dollar play going on, if you think the Fed's not going to do anything, nor are they going to say anything good, then you have an M2, M4 week, right? And if you didn't buy it down here earlier today, then once again, it's like bewildering what your plan is. Now, this is difficult because it's heading down, right? So this is why you need to manage your trade. Do you remember the discussions we had last week? I said over the weekend, you should be waiting to say, I hope this opens at M2. I hope it opens up at M2. I hope it opens at M2. You guys remember that conversation? How many people? Right? And you should be suffering all through Sunday afternoon waiting for the new pivots and waiting for the new pivots. I hope it opens at M2. I hope M2. Come on, baby, M2. M2. Oh, M2! Boom! I got it! Oh, that's sweet. Look at that. I got it. Yeah. Right? You're just like, ho, wee. Right? And somewhere in here, you're long and strong. Yeah, already. Okay, and you're hoping you're going to be up here. $1.14 is your conservative target. But if you don't do that, then you say, oh, but oh, I got this 21, and oh, that monthly central, that might hold it down, and then oh this and that, and you just all of a sudden you're like, I don't know, like frozen, right? Like a deer in the headlights. Like, I want to buy it, but there's so many downsides, and oh, it's not giving me clear signals, and oh, it might go up and it might go down, and like, oh, yeah, because you don't know what you're doing. How could you possibly make a decision about this? Right? Because if you look at it, there are bullish and bearish things on this chart, like almost every other chart. And so if you find yourself kind of like the monkey in the middle, it's because you are the monkey in the middle. Are you a bull or a bear? Well, I don't know. I was hoping the charts would tell me. Well, why would the charts tell you? Right? The charts, technical analysis only helps you buy and sell at support resistance. Right? So I'd rather you say, the Fed's not going to raise interest rates, 0% chance of that. I want to be long on this. Maybe, especially this could be a blowout week where if they say just the right words, this could easily go to extreme or more, right? So on and so forth, right? And you're like, man, this could go to 15 or 16 if it all comes together, right? So how do you trade weekly pivot points? Well, you're either selling at this line or buying at this line or selling at this line, right? That's what I've taught you, right? So I'm not saying the Fed's going to do anything. How would I know what? They haven't even started the meeting yet. It doesn't even start till tomorrow. They don't even know. Okay? But I know how to play the plan. So Brendan's like selling for you. Great, but you wouldn't do it here, right? I mean, I suppose you could say, I'm going to sell off the monthly central, take a 5A cross off the 21, bring it down. Yeah. It's not a great weekly trade, okay? But if you were calling this, basically a monthly M3 and you're going down to MM1, and you're going to use this as, breakthrough, pullback, kind of thing. If you got your reasons, yeah, you could argue it, right? Or you're going to wait for it to come way up here, right? Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's less ideal, right? Because if you were a bear, you do kind of want to keep it below this trifecta of 2155 200. Right? Clearly someone's playing the monthly central, right? You see how we're hesitating here? You got a little roll reversal, you got the oscillator. So, why not, right? In that case, your target, just this week, your target is going to be 1150, 1130, maybe 1100. Okay? And then I'd say, Brendan, if that doesn't work, yeah, then pay attention here. Right? Because you're going to play it this way, right? So there's your two plans. Plan A and then plan B is Is that how it looks, Brendan? Yeah. And like I've always said, I don't really care which one you are, but if you play it properly, it'll probably work out to some degree. Right? Because if you plan your trades out, you never have to tell your wife like, oh, it was such a bloodbath today in the markets. I got killed. Well, what do you mean you got killed? Right? How's that possible? Did the Swiss National Bank lie to you and surprise you? No. I just got unlucky. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. What's luck got to do? Got to do with it. What's luck but a poverty emotion? All right, so that's interesting, huh? Yeah, sleep in the garage. Yeah, here's your pillow. See you in the morning, baby. Enjoy that new Spanish tile in the kitchen. So again, what I'm trying to say is you need a plan, find your support, find your resistance, and make a decision. You know, USD CAD is also on the monthly central pivot. No, yeah, no, weekly. No, that's weekly. I can't. Hang on, I have to walk across the room. Ugh, what is that? Yeah, it's a weekly central. Yeah. All right, USD CAD's on weekly central. Aussie USD weekly central. USD Euro USD is monthly central. Pig Dog is so sold that it stopped at the monthly S2. Monthly S2! And we're still in the middle of the month. Oh my goodness. But thank goodness Fitch reviewed the whole thing for us and says there's no risk to worry about. They're all good. Same as always. Same amount of risk as a year ago. I'm glad I bought this chair. Awesome. Oh, it's been a long week already, huh? Oh. Gotta carry your own weight. Your trouble. No, a 5 minute short. Well, you got a 15 minute that says down, and you're kicking it off a roll reversal. My only concern with your short is that it's probably going to head up on the hour to tickle the 21 before making the next cycle down. So I'm sort of expecting a little bit of 15-minute divergence, but other than that, that's why they invented stops. Yeah. Oh yeah. So beast is pound yen. Sorry. Okay. Yeah. See, isn't it nice to just be able to look up and you see like 4 time frames like that? All right. So beast is also on the monthly support pivot. And 150 just could be a psychological level. I don't know. Look at that short. So this is the one I was talking about earlier today. I set you up on a short pull back to, at that time, these moving averages were a little wider. But nonetheless, I just want to bring you back. That was, what, Wednesday? Nice, right? Let me get rid of that. Let me reset the colors here. Okay. And it dropped from 55 and we stopped at 49.50. So that one's 500 something pips. And then, are you watching this? Are you ready? Are you ready? Boom! Look at this one. Okay. We also had this one set up. And this is the drop off the top. Pull back to the 55, right? 2155 cluster. And it dropped from 58. And let's just call it 150. 800 pips, and it's been 4 trading days. Hello, I love you. Won't you tell me your name? Now that is some serious loving, huh? Check this out. Yeah, real shocker too, huh? Wowzer, though. When it works well. The beast can be your friend, I'm telling you. And many years ago, I'm trying to think of when it was, 2008 or something. The yens were moving like this just for about 3 months straight. It just was like raining pips. It was just ridiculous. Okay. It just kept going and going and going and going. But it was one of those things like you'd make 4 trades and you'd be up 458 pips, and then you'd make one more trade and you'd give back 150, and you're just like, dope! Oh, I wish I hadn't made that last trade. Okay, so what do you think? Should you just start selling this hard now? Yeah, way late, dude. Let's see. This is the weekly target, and this is the monthly target. So if we just kind of factor these in, it seems like I would guess, and we're at a psychological level of 50, right? I would kind of guess that the vast majority of this trade is done. Right? That's what technical analysis tells you. Now, technical analysis doesn't know the event risk 10 days from now. So we can have an unusually bad month, is what I'm trying to say. And the pivots don't know that. They don't know anything. Okay? But there's still support there. Okay? So your job is to identify various levels of resistance, which are prices in which you might consider selling if you get the right type of trade pattern, which means you sell on your own terms, which means you're the boss, which means you have a strategy, which means you wake up in the morning and you have intent. I kid you not, I was on vacation this weekend. I actually took the family out to the lake and did some boating and all that kind of stuff. I rarely take time off, but I finally did. And it was really, really hot because it's in Georgia on the border with South Carolina. It's like the definition of hot. It's like Africa hot, right? Oh, yeah. So anyway, so I didn't sleep well, but I had a great dream. And so my wife said, well, that's weird. You don't usually dream. I'm like, oh yeah, this was great. I was leading a small group of people And we were looking and looking and looking and looking and looking and looking around for something. You know what we were looking around for? A reason to trade the Japanese yen. No joke. That's what I dream about. We're just searching. We needed the reason, the aha moment. We needed the smoking gun. And we're looking and looking. Because I'm like, we're like 60 days away. We're like 60 days away. I got to be ready. I got to be ready. This is what I do when I vacay. Oh, yeah. And it was so bothersome too. I wake up and I'm like, I'm so tired and exhausted. We've been looking for the signal, the thing you looked for. I couldn't find it, but I'm looking. So what is it that you're looking for? Right? Let me tell you about heartache and the loss of God, wandering and wandering in hopeless night. Out here on the perimeter, there are no stars. Out here, we is stoned, immaculate. Yeah, that's funny, right? So, yeah, true story. Tossing and turning. Oh, I can't find the end. I can't. Yeah, where's it? BOJ. Wake up, honey! You're having a horrible, horrible nightmare. Oh my God! I missed it. I missed the end. So, yeah, pretty funny. So at least I'm looking. You know what I mean? Like seriously, at least I'm looking day and night. Day and night. It freaks me out. It's scary. I'm counting the days. What if I miss it, right? I'm that upset when I take a Saturday and Sunday off from work. I'm that upset. Because that's just my luck. I'm going to be out in the middle of the lake in a boat. I'm like, isn't this great? Meanwhile, the pound yen is just crashing. Because you know the perfect indicator for the foreign exchange market to collapse is when I take a day off. When I take a day off, the whole thing falls apart. And it's usually me out here going, this is so good. I'm a captain of a ship. Look at me, right? And meanwhile, I could be making millions and millions and millions of dollars. And I get back and they're like, did you see the pound yen? It moved like 10,000 pips in one day. And I'm like, oh God, really? Well, that was good because yeah. So if it bothers me, maybe it should be on your mind too, right? That's right, Gorilla. You know, one of my earliest experiences trading Forex, and this was amateur hour time, right? I'm in my dining room way back in California, and it was great because I'd been up, I think, like all night. I think maybe I don't know. I don't know what it. Maybe it was what. Yeah, I think it was up. Here, all right, here's the story. I'll try to spit it out. I'm up all night watching the foreign exchange market, and I'm just absolutely tired. I'm sitting in the dining rooms, you know, in a t-shirt and my boxer shorts. Haven't been a right, and I'm waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting for a trade. I'm waiting for the trade. My fingers on the trigger, and then my wife is heading off to work. She's like, "Okay, honey, I'm off to work." I'm like, yeah. She's like, "I'm waiting." I'm like, No, I'm waiting for a kiss goodbye. Okay, so I get up, I walk over, yeah, and I turn and run back, and I missed it. Yeah! Oh my God, I can't believe it, I missed it. I was so upset. Yeah, it somehow knew. I walked away for literally 14 seconds. I had been there for 14 hours. You know? And I bet you it was 8:30 on the nose, but even back then I didn't even know there was news. Right? Well, Eric's funny, like limit orders and stuff. Eric, this is so long ago that your broker didn't offer charts. So yes, but it was a little more complicated back then. Right? I remember doing a panel discussion with a group of traders, and one of them still called his orders in. Didn't use the dang fangled computer. He's like, look, if you can't call tomorrow's trades in tonight, then it's not a good trade. Yeah. So anyway, so like I said, look, we have weekly support, monthly support, all in this like 100 pips between 50 and 49. You're like, Wayne, that's like 100 pips. That's nothing on pound yen. That's a chunk of corn in my salsa. Right? That's a black bean in my salsa, man. That don't mean nothing. So anyways, Kiwi getting crushed because it's Kiwi. Let me just look around because we're running out of time. You know, Aussie yen topped off at the daily resistance at 80. You know, like, where else were you going to sell it? I was thinking about 80.30. So look at your Aussie yen. It went to 80, 80.00000000000000000000, which happened to be resistance, right? They happen to be cutting interest rates. Yeah, but besides that, well, guess what? It's now down 150 pips off the top with plenty of room on the downside. It's one of these things like, if yen stays strong and global macroeconomics stays weak and the RBA keeps talking it down, maybe your target is 70. Like, you know, why not? Why not go for 1,000 pips? And if you get knocked out at break even, who cares, right? So it's just I'm just trying to entice you to think. Think, right? What else? You know, euro yen getting crushed, pound yen getting crushed. Stock market, by the way, today is on the daily 21. If you're looking at the S&P 500. Yeah. So, you know, risk on would be great. I don't know if we'll get it. And I think what USD yen's going to test weekly support. Is that right? Let me just do a quick rundown. Dollar index on the hourly 21 as support. Oil trying to make a break to the downside off of weekly M2. US China looks like the Chinese are weakening their currency. Copper had a move to the upside, slammed into a monthly pivot, stopped, dropped, made a fib retracement, and after 618, copper is thinking about heading back up. Gold is moving up. It's at 1285, eyeballing 1287. Just seems to be up on an hourly chart, riding the 21. Above monthly resistance, weekly M3. So very bullish there, because you'd think if it was going to come down, it would come down off monthly resistance, but it's moving up. And meanwhile, silver is caught on a pivot. It, like, no joke, for the last, trying to count them, 15 4-hour candles. Yet we're riding the 4-hour 21. We just can't get through that price, which is, I think, 1740 or something. It's just caught, like, no joke. There's that many 4-hour candles and it just can't get to the upside. So you might want to watch silver. And maybe copper might be on a roll reversal fib retracement for you. So some interesting things out there on the metals. So without further ado, I love you, babe, but I got to jump. Tomorrow's going to be a great day. The next day is going to be a ridiculous, redonkulous, freak out kind of day with just news after news after news after news after news after news. It's a good week to be alive. So thank you for joining my life with me. I like you in my life. You're my sweet baby. So peace on earth. May the pips be with you. May your profits be above average, and I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks again for being on my team. Cheers.